That's fascinating. There was when we're doing prep, obviously for this podcast, you were on Prof G's podcast, and I took a listen to that one. It was a great one too. But you talked about there, like our psychological immune system has essentially weakened over time, and there's less and less resilience. And of course, you pointed to things like COVID as kind of ushering that. I think Prof G talked about like bulldozer parents and things to that effect. What's interesting about that, and I'd love for you, if you have a moment, to kind of speak to this, is when we think in the context of business, these individuals are coming into business work. So it's not just the social side that we're seeing here. We're seeing some of this coming into the business where you're not trusting institutions, you're not trusting, say, leadership, you're not trusting a lot of these other facets that exist, where a lot of the older generation, we just innately trust maybe a little bit easier. Do you want to speak to like this weakened psychological immune system and its effect on business?
Very much. So first of all, when we talk about the misbelief and we say it's stress and cognition and personality and social, you can say at the end, okay, so why do I care? Okay, so some people go down this. Do I really care as a society? And the answer is yes, you care, because every person that goes down the funnel of misbelief loses some trust. You must have seen some results that less parents are vaccinating their kids. Trust in the government is lower. Trust in pharma. At the end of COVID, there's less trust in pharma than we had before.
Yeah.
Here are people, like imagine, here are people, scientists at all of these companies that were working day and night like mad to try and save the world. Some succeeded, some didn't, but heroic efforts to try and come up with a vaccine. And at the end of all of this heroic effort, the reputation of pharma companies is lower than when they started. It kind of boggles the mind, and it's because 100%. Because the package is around trust. So what is happening? What is happening is that when we experience stress, we look for a story to explain what is going on. And the stress we experience is connected to the outside world. What's happening, COVID, unemployment. By the way, my students are very concerned with ChatGPT. They said, will I have a job in 3 years in this thing that I just started studying? and mostly I say, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. And, of course, there's other, like what's happening with the war in Ukraine, what's happening in the Middle East. Why are the Houthis all of a sudden shooting at bombs? What's happening with Iran? I mean, the world is very, very unsettling now. And what you refer to as the natural immune system is our resilience. And it's worthwhile thinking about this. So in resilience, there are two periods. So imagine life. You have life, slightly better, slightly worse. At some point, sometimes people have a tragedy. In my case, I got badly injured. And then usually we think about resilience is, do we get back? Do we get back to where we started, above where we started, below, how long it takes us? We think about resilience as the bounce back. But that period of life, when nothing bad has happened, also has resilience. And it's a resilience in the sense of the trust that you have that if something bad happened to you, somebody will catch you. And the example that is kind of, for me, the most salient is secure attachments and kids. So you have a kid, the kid is 4 years old, you take them to the park and you say, kid, go to the swings. If the kid goes to the swings and comes back an hour later, you have been successful in creating a kid with secure attachment. If the kid goes to the swing, but they look at you, they look back behind their shoulder every 90 seconds, not so successful.
Sure.
Now think about how we walk around life. Do we feel that if something bad will happen to us, somebody will catch us? Or do we feel that we need to look around to make sure that somebody will catch us? And it's kind of like a super insurance policy. Just imagine how it feels like in life to say, whatever bad happens, somebody will catch me. I'll get sick, somebody will help me. I'll fall, somebody will catch me. Somebody will dump me, I will catch me. Somebody will offend me, somebody will catch. It's an amazing feeling. And that feeling we have less and less.